do you guys think if you had done it alone that you'd be able to have had the success that you had? Like if you had not joined forces,
Definitely
Yeah,
not.
no.
how do you think that like that's impacted you guys as you've grown the business? Like what do you feel like have been the specific advantages of like having a partner that you can trust?
I'll let the
Um,
beauty before age on this question.
I, you know, it, like right, we've changed roles as times went by, but we're both able to just gravitate to the things we enjoy doing and that we are good at, and it's and that's probably one of the biggest things. It's like, you get into this, your dream is to go do the thing that you love and have freedom and flexibility, right? And to be able to hire on your, weaknesses in a way. Well, we get to complement each other's strengths and then, offset each other's weaknesses. And so, it's, it takes the right combination, I think, of strengths and weaknesses for the things to work. Having the same strengths. I see a lot of partnerships where it's like they're kind of the same people, like they're buddies, and they're like the same personality with the same strengths and probably the same weaknesses, right? And so and that's not probably the best combination because you're not able to really divide and conquer. You're just kind of stepping on each other. But we just have this level of trust where we know we're both out there doing the right thing in the best interest. And then we just come together and we talk about it and we kind of update each other and then we go back after it again. And it's a beautiful thing. And I mean, trust really is the key to it. Is like, I know, he can go off and make decisions and I don't have no ego about it, and, vice versa. And, it's really, it's just, I don't know. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, the perfect example Adam was talking about earlier about a focus on margin. Well, he came from, retail where, margins are slim on, oil filters and all the different little parts and, such that he's focused on. I didn't have that. I was in, defense contracting. We had, $100 million contracts and people and doing services and software development and testing. So I never really worried about margins on individual items. And, not that it's, not that it's a perfect thing. I was a little nervous. Like, he's like, hey, we need to hold our margins. Like, we're going to lose sales. We need to hold the margins, so those kinds of things, again, we rely on each other's strengths. And I think we're very lucky, in terms of the skill sets that we both, he came from retail, I came from, operations, and we're able to, again, put that together, kind of a yin and yang thing. And then, doing the things you love. What I really enjoyed marketing, and, I still think that's probably one of the funnest aspects of the business, because it's just interesting and you can get, put some dollars here and see what happens over here, kind of thing. And, but, again, for the sake of the business, and, I'm 20 years older than Adam, so I'm going to be taking an exit ramp, in some shape, form, or fashion sooner or later, and having him have that skill set, and having the confidence that we both understand it now, and either one of us can, jump in and take care of it. So, making sure that you're focusing on the right things. And, but again, back to the, the trust thing. Yeah, we just trust each other and we think alike. It's pretty amazing that we'll just see something and just instinctually and intuitively know that's what is important and this is what we need to focus on without even much discussion at all. So that's been another aspect of, how because of our, relationship, how we've been so successful.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, really, it in some sense, it was a risky move to partner up with your neighbor, right? I mean, like if things go south, because you're right next door to each other. So I guess, what advice would you give someone who's, maybe thinking about the idea of having like a business partnership, and how do you navigate through figuring out how to structure everything, how to structure who's going to put in, X number of dollars for the businesses, how you guys split, the margins and what you're taking out of the business. Like, how do you go about even having those conversations when you may have someone's never done that before? They've never had that conversation, and they may not know exactly how to go about that.
Yeah, I'll say that, I don't know that we were particularly adept really at as much as we drilled down on the financials of the business and the pro formas and all that. We didn't really have many discussions about our relationship in the business, so I think in another respect, we're lucky there as well. We were friends, we respected each other's intellect and abilities, and but the division of labor inside the business, really just kind of happened a little bit naturally. It was 50-50. We're 50-50 on everything. Every dollar we put in, every dollar we take out is 50-50. And, so I don't know that we were particularly analytical about our relationship and how that was going to, support the business. But, again, I think it's just boils back to trust and confidence and respect and, temperament too. I mean, we both have pretty much the same temperament in terms of our feathers, we're not mercurial. Feathers don't get ruffled too easily. I have a little bit of an Irish temper, but, other than that, I think we're pretty level-headed as we address pretty much every situation we've ran into.
Yeah. And like in hindsight, if I was to give it some advice to try to help people, try to just define as much of that as you possibly can before you commit. Really, it's just document everything about that, whether it's the division of labor or the finances, or even just hey, we're going to set this money aside. Like I've seen people like go in a partnership and then somebody all of a sudden has a financial hardship and then now they need to extract the money that was going to be invested into the future. And, so it's like, you just really have to define how all that looks as much as you possibly can before you get started. It makes everything a lot easier. Like Lloyd said, I mean, I think because of our relationship and the way things are, we did evolve together and it was fine, but I don't think that always works for everybody. So
that's true. We're lucky.
If you enjoyed this short clip from the podcast, you can check out another short clip right here. Or if you want to watch the full episode of this podcast, you can watch that here. And remember, knowledge is not power. It's applied knowledge that's power. Take care. Have a great rest of your day.